Part 20. 10 plagues, 67 CE to 71 CE. 10 plagues are Jewish law and Roman law. Plague is an entity. The three main members of the plague entity are God, Moses, and Aaron. Moses and God are Vespasian, Titus, and Simon. Aaron is Domitian and Andrew. Most verses on plagues were directed to Last Supper. Locust, frogs, etc. are making reference to Jews. Blood on River Nile were Jewish blood or painting of the River Nile. Famine was starvation of Jews. 10 plagues are a display of Roman law over Jewish law. Ezekiel 14:21. For thus says the Lord Jehovah, how much more then when I send my 4 severe judgments upon Jerusalem, sword and famine, and wild beast and pestilence, to cut off man and beast from it. 4 judgments were the first 4 10 commandments, Roman law. Exodus 7:12. That is, each one threw down his staff, and they became serpents. But Aaron's staff swallowed up their staffs. Roman law swallowed Jewish law. 1. First plague. The water turns to blood. Jewish law, Roman law. Exodus 7:17. Thus says Jehovah, by this you will know that I am Jehovah. I am now going to strike the water which is in the river with the staff that is in my hand, and it will be turned to blood. Thus says Simon. Exodus 7:18. And the fish that are in the river will die, and the river will become foul, and the Egyptians will loathe drinking water from the river. Jewish law was poison. Exodus 7:19. And Jehovah said to Moses, say to Aaron, take your staff and stretch out your hand over the waters of Egypt, over their rivers, over their water courses, over their pools, and over all their reservoirs of water, that they may become blood, and there shall be blood throughout all the land of Egypt, even in vessels of wood and in vessels of stone. And Vespasian said to Titus, say to Domitian. Roman law spread throughout the land. Revelations 11:6. These have the authorities to shut heaven, but that no rain may fall during the days of their prophecy. And they have authority over the waters to turn them into blood, and to smite the earth with every plague as often as they desire. Jews were killed. Exodus 12:13. And the blood shall be a sign for you upon the houses where you are. And when I see the blood, I will pass over you, and there will be no plague upon you to destroy you when I strike the land of Egypt. The sign of blood meant death to Jews. There will be no blood upon Romans when Titus killed Jews. Jews were sanctified from evil spirits to life-giving spirits. 2. Second plague, frogs, Jewish law. Frogs were Jews. Exodus 8:3. And the river shall swarm with frogs, and they will go up from the river and come into your house, and into your bedchamber, and upon your bed, and into the houses of your servants, and upon your people, and into your ovens, and into your kneading bowls. Jewish law spread in Rome. Exodus 8:5. And Jehovah said to Moses, say to Aaron, stretch out your hand with your staff over the rivers, over the water courses, and over the pools, and make frogs come up on the land of Egypt. Vespasian said to Titus, say to Domitian. So Aaron stretched out his hand over the waters of Egypt, and the frogs came up and covered the land of Egypt. Exodus 8:7. And the magicians did the same with their secret spells, and brought up frogs on the land of Egypt. Jews brought Jewish law. Exodus 8:12. Then Moses and Aaron went out from Pharaoh, and Moses cried out to Jehovah concerning the frogs which he had brought upon Pharaoh. Titus and Domitian brought Jews for execution. Exodus 8:13. And Jehovah did according to the word of Moses, and the frogs died in the houses, in the courts, and in the fields. Jews were killed in Rome. Exodus 8:11. And the frogs shall depart from you, and from your houses, and from your servants, and from your people. They shall remain in the river only. Jews and Jewish law were removed from Rome. Exodus 8:14. And they gathered them together, heap after heap, and the land stank. Jews' heads were gathered in heaps. Exodus 8:15. But when Pharaoh saw that there was respite, he hardened his heart and did not listen to them, just as Jehovah had said. Respite meant a delay in penalty. It was perdition. 3. Third plague, mosquitoes, Roman law. Exodus 8:17. And they did so, and Aaron stretched out his hand with his staff and struck the dust of the earth, and there were lice on man and on beast. All the dust of the earth became lice throughout all the land of Egypt. Domitian stretched out his hand. Numbers 21:6. Then Jehovah sent fiery serpents among the people, and they bit the people, so that many people of Israel died. Vespasian sent fiery serpents. Roman law spread throughout. Exodus 8:18. And the magicians did the same with their secret spells, to try to bring forth lice, but they could not. So there were lice on man and on beast. Simon and the Jews did the same. Jewish law failed. 4. Fourth plague, gadflies, Jewish law. Jews were gadflies. Exodus 8:24. And Jehovah did so, and heavy swarms of flies came into the house of Pharaoh, and into his servants' houses, and throughout the land of Egypt. The land was ruined because of the swarms of flies. Simon sent swarms of flies. Jews and Jewish law entered the Roman leadership. Exodus 8:31. And Jehovah did according to the word of Moses, and he removed the swarms of flies from Pharaoh, from his servants, and from his people. Not one remained. Vespasian stopped Jewish law. Jewish law was removed. Roman law prevailed. 5. Fifth plague, death of livestock, Jewish law. Exodus 9:2. For if you refuse to let them go and still retain them. Exodus 9:3. Then the hand of Jehovah is going to be on your livestock, which are in the field, on the horses, on the donkeys, on the camels, on the herds, and on the flocks with a very severe pestilence. Deadly plague was Jewish law. Exodus 9:4. And Jehovah made a distinction between the livestock of Israel and the livestock of Egypt, so that nothing will die of all that belongs to the children of Israel. Distinction between Roman law and Jewish law. Exodus 9:6. And Jehovah did this thing on the next day, and all the livestock of Egypt died, but of the livestock of the children of Israel, not one died. Vespasian killed Jews on last day. In this context, children of Israel meant Jews taken to Rome. Not one died. All followers of Jewish law died. Roman law prevailed. 6. Sixth plague, boils, Roman law. Exodus 9:9. And it will become fine dust over the land of Egypt, and it will become boils breaking out with sores on man and on beast throughout all the land of Egypt. Roman law spread in Israel. Vespasian sent dust, Roman law. Exodus 9:11. And the magicians could not stand before Moses because of the boils, for the boils were on the magician as well as on all the Egyptians. The boil were on Jews. Jewish law had no power over Roman law. Roman law covered all lands. 7. The seventh plague, hail, Jewish law, Roman law. Exodus 9:18. Tomorrow about this time I am going to cause very heavy hail to fall, such as has never occurred in Egypt since the day it was founded, even until now. Simon sent hail. Exodus 9:23. And Moses stretched out his staff toward heaven, and Jehovah sent thunder and hail, and fire came down on the earth, and Jehovah hailed upon the land of Egypt. Exodus 9:24. So there was very heavy hail with fire flashing continually in the midst of the hail, such as had not occurred in all the land of Egypt since it became a nation. Vespasian sent hail and fire. Roman law throughout the Roman Empire. 8. The eighth plague, Locust, Jewish law. Jews were locusts. Exodus 10:4. For if you refuse to let my people go, then tomorrow I am going to bring swarming locusts into your territory. Simon sent locusts. 2 Chronicles 6:28. If there is famine in the land, if there is pestilence, if there is blight or mildew, swarming locusts on consuming locusts, if their enemies besiege them in the land of their cities, whatever plague and whatever sickness there is. Jewish law taken to Rome. 2 Chronicles 6:29. Whatever prayer, whatever supplication, which will be made by any man or by all your people Israel, each knowing his own plague and his own pain, when he spreads out his hands towards this house. Exodus 10:19. And Jehovah changed the wind into a very strong west wind, and it took up the swarming locusts and drove them into the Red Sea. Not one locust was left in all the territory of Egypt. Vespasian drove out Jews. Roman law throughout the Roman Empire. Number 9. Ninth plague, darkness, Jewish law, Roman law. Exodus 10:22. So Moses stretched out his hand toward heaven, and there was thick darkness throughout all the land of Egypt for 3 days. Simon sent darkness. He preached Jewish law for 3 days. Darkness was Jewish law. Exodus 10:23. They could not see one another, nor did anyone rise up from his place for 3 days. But all the children of Israel had light in their dwellings. Light was Roman law. Vespasian sent light. Jewish law preached in Rome for 3 days. It's darkness. Roman law rule. It is light over darkness. Number 10, 10th plague, death of the firstborn, Roman law. Firstborn were Jews. Exodus 12:48. But if a stranger sojourns with you and will observe the Passover to Jehovah, let all his males be circumcised, and then let him come near to observe it. And he will be like one who is a native of the land, but no uncircumcised person shall eat of it. Vespasian ordered circumcision. Uncircumcised meant Jewish law and Jews. Circumcised meant to stop Jewish law. Jews did not eat Last Supper. Exodus 11:4. And Moses said, Thus says Jehovah, about midnight I will go out into the midst of Egypt. Exodus 11:5. And all the firstborn born in the land of Egypt shall die, from the firstborn of Pharaoh, who sits upon the throne, to the firstborn of the female slave, who is behind the millstones, and all the firstborn of cattle. Simon and Jews were identified as firstborns in Catholicism. Exodus 11:6. And there shall be a great cry throughout all the land of Egypt. Each has not been or ever will be again. 15th of December, 71 midnight, Jews were executed. Firstborn Jesus was Simon. Jews were firstborn Catholics. Death to Simon and Jews, the firstborn. Simon as Jesus was the chosen one, and Jews were the chosen people to die. Titus as Jesus was the chosen one to be the Messiah. The Romans were the chosen people to live.